I'd like to welcome you to ICW Guide on this blustery Sunday afternoon down here in beautiful South Florida. We've got a tropical wave coming in and they're predicting some pretty nasty weather out here starting later tonight and tomorrow. They're talking about 6 to 8 foot waves out in the deep water. I don't go out too far, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm trying to show you a rainbow out there, kind of off on the horizon. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you can really see that or not. Over here to the left a little bit, we've got downtown Miami. And what I'm actually going to do today is give you a tour of my home port, which is Blackpoint. So I'm out here in Biscayne Bay, just off the entrance to the Blackpoint channel over here. And what we're going to do is cruise on up into the channel and just kind of show you around Blackpoint a little bit. I lost some of my audio while I was out on the boat, so I'm recording a little bit of voiceover from my desktop here, which explains why things might sound a little bit different all of a sudden. In any case, what we wanted to do here was kind of bring you in through the main channel, coming up and visiting Blackpoint. You can see the main easternmost channel markers that mark the entrance to the channel. We are actually pretty far out here from the actual marina. I'd say this channel is maybe about a mile long. I'm not sure exactly. One of these days I'll measure it with my GPS and figure it out, but it's a pretty long ways until you actually get up into the marina here. So what I've done, one thing I've done here that helps me out is that I've set a waypoint in my GPS for the entrance to the channel. That's very helpful, because if you try and just navigate straight to Blackpoint, it's going to take you through some pretty uncomfortable areas that you don't necessarily want to be passing through. So what we're seeing here is the main entrance. There's usually lots of traffic coming right through the entrance here, and we're moving into the channel now. You want to keep a pretty close eye to the right and to the left here as you're moving up the channel, especially to the right. There are a lot of underwater rocks on the right hand side here. In fact, if you look at a navigation chart, you actually see that they mark off submerged breakwaters pretty much at least halfway, probably more like 3/4 of the way through this channel. If you look off into the distance there, you can see we're actually pretty far away from land still. But trust me on this, you want to pretty much stick to the channel. That's the safest thing to do. I learned the hard way one of my first trips out here that you really shouldn't be taking any shortcuts in between these channel markers. A little bit further in, it looked to me like pure open water, and I came through from the north side and from the right hand here, and actually bumped into some rocks. It was pretty shocking, I can tell you that. Thankfully I was going pretty slow, just barely idling along, and so it didn't really do any damage, but I can let you know that it's always a shock when you're out here and you bump into something and it's a surprise. As you can see, the land is pretty far away here. I'd say we're about a mile out. Can't say for sure, but feels like about a mile. It's a good 15-minute trip at least. This is all pretty much idle speed territory here, so you really should just barely be moving along. The first 2 or 3 channel markers out here, you have a little bit of a stretch where you've got normal speed and a little bit of slow speed. They're basically slowing the traffic down, but by the time you hit about the 3rd or 4th marker, you should be at idle speed. Now, what I'm showing you over here is some of these rocks over on the north side of the channel. And right underneath the water there, it's a submerged breakwater built with rocks almost all the way. So you just really got to take this stuff seriously out here in this channel. I'm only about maybe 4 markers in from the end of the channel, and it is already, you know, like I said, you can see the rocks sticking up there. You can just barely see them underneath the water. Definitely got to be careful here. I've got a pretty nice looking, looks like a sea ray overtaking me to the left here, so I need to be sure I stay out of his way. I'm just going to move over to the right side of the channel here so I don't crowd him, give him plenty of space because he's moving a little faster than I am. See, there's some more rocks sticking up over there. So just to kind of give you an idea. Right over there is Blackpoint, that little hook of land that comes out. That's where we get our name here. And then there's a pretty interesting little cove back up in there. It looks pretty well sheltered. I hardly ever see anybody over there, though. I suspect it's very, very shallow, and I'm sure it's very well protected. They don't want you, making too much racket over there and bothering the manatees and things like that. It may be pretty well restricted. So we're coming on up here to the end of the main breakwater. From here on out, it stays pretty well submerged. Let's see, channel marker number 23 on the left side there. But it's pretty easy to walk all the way out here to the end of this channel, and a lot of people do. You can see there's a good number of people fishing out here. Sometimes at low tide, they walk even further and get out there to some of those other outcroppings out there that are a little further out. Sometimes I see paddle boards and things like that out there, kayaks. So it's a pretty popular area, even if you're not a boater. People come out here and just enjoy the water and do a little fishing. Lots of people just come and hang out. But as you can see over there on the side on that jetty, whatever you want to call it, might not be a jetty, breakwater, whatever it is. It looks to be pretty well man-made. I just don't know quite what they call it. But lots of people there. Everybody's just kind of hanging out, enjoying the afternoon. Probably got about another 10-minute run before we're all the way in. I have seen a couple manatees out here, so they are here. The warnings are for real. Definitely up close to the gas dock, out in the turning basin back behind the marina. They're there. You can see over here on this breakwater, there's a pretty decent path there. You can get a bicycle down here, so you can get all the way out there pretty easily, just as far as you feel like going. And then the other side over here is pretty much open water. Now we're coming up here to where the channel splits, and we're going to make a right-hand turn into the channel to the right. If you go straight, that's where the Blackpoint fishing fleet stays, and just a couple hundred yards down that left-hand channel, you'll see all the fishing boats and shrimpers and things like that. That's all there is down there. It doesn't go very far. As soon as you pass the dockage for the fishing fleet, that channel pretty much ends. Now we're coming into the kind of the what you might call the last leg, I guess, until you get up into Blackpoint. right, there's Suntex. I'm just going to pull my boat up and tie off there for the night. They close about 5 o'clock, and so whenever you come in after hours, you just tie off and they'll pick it up and put it away in the morning. So that's the gas dock right there next to it. I'm going to go ahead and go back down here a little ways and do a little bit more of a tour. There's the launch ramps. Got about 10 launch ramps. You know, fair amount of trailer parking, although on a busy day it gets, the trailer parking all fills up, and so you got to get here fairly early on the busy summer days. They'll close the whole ramp when they run out of parking, so that can be kind of tough. The interesting thing is they don't even let you just come in and drop a boat and go, which is a shame, because I know there's some people that live in the neighborhood that would just drop their boat and take their trailer back home if they'd let them, but they just haven't quite figured that out yet. They might be thinking about it, but they're not there yet. Somebody's having a pretty good party over here. Up there in the pavilion. Okay. Got a pretty good police presence here. There's I think a police substation there, as a matter of fact. Got a Towboat US station here. So if you they have to dispatch somebody to help you out, if you're down here in this area, this is where they come from. This is the Blackpoint Grill over here. This is actually a really nice place. I've been here a few times for drinks. Haven't actually eaten here, but I hear the food can be very, very good. They actually have entertainment in there on the weekends, and it's quite nice. Looks like there's plenty of room to tie off. At least for right now there is. Nice seating out here all the way out on the edge of the water. Nice little Blackpoint ambiance. It looks to me like they might be getting ready for the storm. They may be kind of picking up, putting umbrellas away, things like that already, because definitely tonight, I'm not sure what time, that storm's going to be rolling in, and it's probably going to be a little nasty around here. So, lots of room to tie off right now if you happen to be in the area and just wanted to come down and have a bit of a happy hour. So neat place. I like that place. So here's the marina portion where they keep the wet slips. I got on a waiting list for one of these slips. It's about a 1.5 year wait, and I figure maybe in about a 1.5 years I might be ready to upgrade to a bigger boat. And even if I don't, I might decide to keep this one in the water. And one of the advantages, of course, to keeping it in the water is you can come and go a lot easier. You know, you just get in the boat, turn the key. You don't have to deal with the forklifts and the hours of the rack storage operation. It hasn't been a problem for me. I haven't been there but maybe about a month. It has worked out pretty well. The only thing is that, you know, you got to plan ahead a little bit. You got to plan your times when you come and go, or at least when you go. Make sure that you're here to pick up the boat before they close. They will launch it with a phone call, so if you know you're coming at night, you can tell them to launch it for a night launch. They'll put it in the water and tie it off. But again, it takes a little bit of planning ahead. Whereas if you've got a slip, you can decide on the spur of the moment to go for a boat ride. You can just kind of come on down here and turn the key, cast off the lines, and you're out of here. So I like it, and I might just give it a shot one of these days. So basically, we're down here to the end. There's a turning basin over there, kind of around the rest of the marina here. There's a kind of a land storage area for sailboats on trailers over there. Kind of the entrance around there. If you're coming in, you come around this way. You're coming in from Old Cutler Road, basically, and then come down that long entrance road. It brings you down here, kind of around the corner and around the bend. So there's a look at my home port. This is where ICW Guide comes and goes from almost all the time. And we'll probably show it to you again one of these days. If you happen to get down this way, give me a holler. You can probably find my contact information pretty easily. Just take a look at the Facebook page or the Instagram page or our website, and drop me a line. Let me know you're here. Let's get acquainted. ICW Guide signing off. See you again soon. Hey, you, subscribe.